Somebody needs to check if Herb Dean actually has functioning eyes or if the UFC swapped him out for a mannequin that learned to count to 10. Because last weekend in Sacramento, Fluffy Hernandez explained that Gregory Rodriguez grabbed inside his gloves 4 separate times. 4. He told the ref live, mid-fight. The ref told Rodriguez to knock it off. And then absolutely nothing happened. No point, no warning that meant a damn thing. Hernandez basically shrugged it off in front of the entire press and said people like to cheat. It is what it is. Do you know who was standing 3 feet away for all 4 instances? Herb Dean. Again. This man doesn't miss calls anymore. He collects them like silver coins. Let's put this man on trial. Full case file. Every receipt. Oldest to newest. No mercy. UFC 169. Henan Barao vs Uriah Faber. For the title. Dean stops the fight. Faber is giving him a thumbs up while he is doing it. The man currently being finished is directing traffic with his own hands, telling the entire arena he's fine. Keep going. Dean waves it off anyway. Dana White even came out after and said that Dean made a mistake. And then UFC 272. Masvidal takes a finger to the eye from Colby Covington close enough that Dean is practically wearing the glove himself. Doesn't call it. Why would he? Masvidal spends the next 2 years seeing double and telling every podcast in America in his own words that Herb Dean is one of the worst referees that has ever existed. UFC 300. This one wasn't even that bad. Pereira eats a low blow from Jamal Hill, waves off the break himself, and puts Hill to sleep seconds later. The internet is losing its mind at Dean for not separating them longer. But even John McCarthy came out and said Herb Dean did exactly what he's trained to do. Fine, I'll give it to him. But think about this for a second, man. That is the one incident on the entire list where Herb Dean was following the rulebook to the letter. And people were still out for blood over it. So now go ahead and imagine how much blood they actually want for the ones where he was dead wrong. Because 2026 turned into a full-blown investigation. Freedom 250. Pereira eats shot after shot after shot to the back of the head from Cyril Gane. Dean does nothing. Pereira goes full villain arc on Instagram. Several stories within 24 hours telling the entire sport he doesn't want this man within 100 feet of his next fight ever again. Weeks later, same energy, but different bodies this time. Andre Fili gets hit behind the head by Vinicius Oliveira. No point taken. Fili is furious too. And now we have a pattern with a pattern. At what point do we stop calling that bad luck and start calling it a business model? And this pisses me off, man, and it should piss you off as well. The people in charge know. John McCarthy said it out loud himself. At UFC 329, Nevada quietly pulled Dean off the biggest fights on the entire card and brought in a completely different referee just to babysit the main events. McCarthy's exact words were that the commission was trying to take care of Herb. Take care of Herb. They didn't suspend him. They relocated him, man. Like he's in some kind of officiating witness protection program. Getting a new safe house every time somebody in the sport gets close to figuring out where he actually lives. And on the fights they did let him anywhere near that night, the crowd still booed him walking to the cage like he owed them money personally. A month later, California comes out and publicly vouches for him. Full confidence. He's working main events in the state. Every complaint waved off like static. Less than a month after that vote of confidence, on their own turf in Sacramento, it happens again. Same missing point, brand new victim. At this point, I've got the red string out and a corkboard on my wall. And I still cannot draw a straight line to how this man keeps his job. I don't know what he's got on Dana White. I don't know if there's a group photo somewhere that can never ever see daylight. All I know is something is keeping this man employed against every single piece of visible evidence. And this is the burning question. Other refs who built up a bad reputation in the sport, guys like Steve Mazzagatti, guys like Mario Yamasaki, they didn't get some big dramatic firing either. Their phones just quietly stopped ringing. They faded out the exact same way they screwed everything up. Quietly, with no press release. That's how this sport has always cleaned house. But Herb Dean is getting the opposite treatment. Hidden from the biggest fights instead of being pulled from all of them. Publicly defended by grown adults who run athletic commissions in the exact same month he's making headlines for the wrong reasons. The list of incidents keeps growing and the job security never so much as flinches. Maybe there's a real answer I'm genuinely not seeing. Maybe 20 years in the cage buys you a longer leash. But I'm damn sure about one thing, Herb Dean doesn't have bad nights anymore. This dude has a pattern, and a body count of furious fighters, and his own personal witness protection unit inside the Athletic Commission.